2020 will go down as the year the world changed, the year you were forced to weather a pandemic and social injustice. While you've experienced much loss this year, you have also grown as a student body. The connections you've made cannot be broken by time or distance. Our Tiger Pride connects us together. Your class can weather any storm. Today we take the time to congratulate you and recognize the challenges and accomplishments it took to get here. This has been a journey where your personal battles, tiger courage, and resilience have all been tested. You made it. Today you sit here as Spring Valley High School graduates, the next generation to lead the way and change the world. Welcome to the Spring Valley High School Class of 2020 Commencement Ceremony.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose fresh lights and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and from his red glare the dawn's bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome, bienvenue y bienvenidos to the Spring Valley High School Class of 2020 Virtual Commencement Ceremony. I would like to acknowledge and thank our Board of Education members, Superintendent Wortham, District Administrators, the Spring Valley High School Assistant Principals and Academic Standards Facilitator, faculty and staff, families, students, community members, and members of the Class of 2020 for their commitment to education. First, let us take time to remember the loved ones and members of the community whom we have lost. Spring Valley High School security guard Vanel Edouard and teacher's aide Agnes Jung, as well as parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, and community members. As we acknowledge the sickness, death, and devastation from this global pandemic, let us also send thanks and love to those who are still healing, who are caring for others, and those who are essential workers. Wherever you are, please join me in a moment of silence. It's not easy to deliver a graduation speech 3 weeks in advance without an audience. And I want you to know that I wish you were here in front of me. These last months of pandemic have taught us that the future is undefined, and staying present is our best emotional recourse. That being said, I believe that a graduation speech should offer advice and the promise of the future. So my words, while influenced by the times, carry a message that I have repeated many times before. Adversity can define our lives by shaping our values, beliefs, and attitudes. How we let it define it is up to us. It is time to reflect on the timeless questions surrounding the meaning of life. What truly matters? Health, family, love, having the basic necessities that will allow us to enjoy them? Questions of equity and equality are forcing us to confront systemic structures that are impeding the fulfillment of the vision for our democracy. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. This is what we must come back to as we participate in the process for change. Again, we must examine our values, beliefs, and attitudes. It is time to reflect on what we have learned. The COVID-19 pandemic had the potential of making us feel alone and isolated, but we came together through the technology available to us, finding connection and community. We learned that we are not alone in this world. It's critical that we remember this as we participate in the restructuring of our society. We are a part of a community, and in order to ensure our own individual well-being, it is our duty to participate in the whole. We are one thread in the human tapestry, and it is our role to help keep this beautiful tapestry of life together. That means letting your voices be heard in order to make a world that is a better place for yourself, your loved ones, your community, the nation, the world, and future generations. Don't let yourself get stuck in inaction or procrastination. Do not let fear stop you from taking the chances that will lead to changes. There are many ways to participate in this process. Find your place and participate in a meaningful way. It is time for post-pandemic strength, a lesson learned from the suffering we have seen. We are counting on you, graduates, to lead us into the future. We live in a moment in time when we can no longer think of only ourselves. The state of our country and our planet calls on us to work for the future of all living beings. The mistakes of the past cannot be repeated. They are a part of our learning, and we must use them to improve and grow every step of the way. What is the meaning of life? If it is to improve our own situation and that of others, then we must take the time to intentionally change our thoughts and behaviors. Change does not happen if it is merely a dream. It is action, and action comes about through thoughtful planning. We must understand the steps to take in order to effectuate successful change. We must be able to work and communicate. We must be flexible and willing to listen, yet be discerning in our judgment, able to determine what will serve the greater good or not. All of these lessons you have learned in school, and far too soon from life in the pandemic. The tragedies of 2020 will shape your generation for your lifetimes. The way that it shapes it is in your hands. I know you, Spring Valley High School class of 2020, and I trust that you will do the right thing. You are ready to fulfill the promise that we entrust in you for the well-being of generations to come. Use the lessons learned from the pandemic and societal ills to become positive contributors to the physical, emotional, and social healing of our world. Thank you for being unforgettable, not for the fact that you are graduating during a pandemic, but for being the people who will shape the future for the better. I wish you happy, healthy, and fulfilling lives. I miss you and I love you. Congratulations.
Hello, class of 2020, friends, family, and Spring Valley High School staff. I'm Brandy Jerome, and I'm proud to say that I'm the Salutatorian of Spring Valley High School, class of 2020. Now, I know this isn't the graduation many of us were expecting after all these years. A couple of months ago, when I found out that I'd be honored to give a speech at graduation, I envisioned speaking in front of a crowd of cheerful people, not addressing you through video. Nonetheless, although the world we once were familiar with is filled with uncertainty in light of the pandemic, I believe this gives us all the more reason to celebrate our accomplishments. To my fellow classmates, we are the flower that grew from the crack in the concrete. Nothing can dispute the effort that we put into our schoolwork for the past 4 years. And even though we are faced with the disappointment of our senior year being cut short and having to adapt to a new learning environment, we demonstrated resilience and made it out on the other side. To the family members of the class of 2020, thank you for supporting us through our educational endeavors and continuing to encourage us to strive for the best. I also like to personally thank Spring Valley High School staff for going above and beyond to not only meet our educational needs, but also to imbue us with the confidence to face any obstacle we may face in our futures. Together, we created a community that collectively shaped the values and ideas of well-rounded young adults who are ready to begin a new chapter, and that is undoubtedly something to celebrate. So, I know some of my peers can remember their first day of high school. You might remember that feeling of pure excitement to start at a new school and maybe try a new sport or make some friends. Well, I'm not alone when I say I vividly remember the painful lump in my throat from being so nervous on my first day. The freshman Brandy almost couldn't hide how jumpy she was. On my first day, I couldn't find one of my classes. It's as if I suddenly forgot how to read a schedule, and I found myself walking around in circles. I knew that I couldn't walk aimlessly forever, so I swallowed my nerves and asked a security guard for directions. Now's a good time to mention that following directions is not my strong suit, so I found myself alone again in the hallways, and then I decided to ask a teacher for help. At this point, it was 20 minutes into the class period, and I was so upset and so embarrassed that I couldn't find my class. So like any 14-year-old girl would do, I hid in the nearest bathroom for the rest of the class period. I'm glad I can tell this story now and laugh at myself because I was horrified over it for months after it happened. But I'm sharing this silly memory of mine to encourage you all, especially my classmates, to make an effort to be nothing like freshman Brandy. In my case, I let my fears corner me into a high school bathroom, but in your cases, it could be more significant than that. Allowing insecurity and anxiety to dictate your decisions can force you into wasting so many years in an unfulfilling situation, all because you were too scared to take a risk. If we've learned nothing else from recent events, we should realize that the only thing we have control of in our lives are our actions. The power in this autonomy should not be taken lightly, but should be used to approach each day with the intention to achieve something meaningful. It'd be a shame to let something as insignificant as uncertainty overshadow the potential of attaining happiness by trying something new. All in all, there is no superior path to take in life, but instead, there are endless possibilities. And rather than letting that overwhelm you, it should build your anticipation to explore them all. There are no guarantees as to who each and every one of us will be in the next 5 or 10 years, but we should all find comfort in the fact that we've made it this far and are capable of so much more than we realize. Class of 2020, we are destined for greatness. We were born into a world post 9/11 and are now graduating during a pandemic. Fear is not the defining factor of our stories, but instead is the fuel that we should use to motivate us to demand to live in a world in the future where we all feel safe to express ourselves respectfully. I can't wait to see what the future holds for all of us.
Good afternoon, Spring Valley High School, and thank you all for joining us to celebrate the graduating class of 2020. I am Rocco St. Clair, Valedictorian of Spring Valley High School, class of 2020. Although this ceremony concludes our high school life, we're only about halfway through what appears to be a year designed to keep us apart. Despite this, each year we've been able to unite behind relevant issues and discover more about ourselves and our community in the process. Freshman year, we discovered our individuality. We all started out high school on a similar foot. We were too young to drive, so we all packed ourselves into the same school buses. We weren't familiar with any teachers, so we ate lunch in the cafeteria. And we had yet to discover the clubs that we would become so passionate about, meaning our days would end at the same ring of the dismissal bell. I think this captures how in our early years, we lacked the wealth of individuality that we have today and weren't free to drive down our own paths. I think this uniformity among freshmen was worsened by having our spirit days separate from the rest of the schools. The diversity we hold now in our ideas and our style and culture all came from interacting and competing with students from different ages, allowing us to forge our own paths. Although our movements were limited at first, we faced life's challenges with courage and grit, preparing our minds to overcome the challenges of the future. Sophomore year, we found the power of our voices and began to use them to advocate for ourselves. It's important to understand that diversity is a combination of your culture and your ideas. There are people in this world that only care about one of these aspects, the culture, and will use you in order to improve their image. You need to know this especially now that you're going to private colleges, institutions that survive basically off of their image. They won't hesitate to post their image on their Instagram, and they'll take the praise for your academic and athletic achievements. But when it's time to advocate for your rights and your safety, they'll ghost you and ignore your cries for support. When we try to speak out of line and stand up for a cause, our protests are labeled as riots, and the people that stand up are labeled as thugs. As we enter the next chapter of our lives, we need to advocate for ourselves and support our peers. So I urge you all to cheer yourselves on and don't be afraid of being great. As you progress through your adult life, never hold back, and I promise you that you'll continue to surprise yourself with your feats of bravery, intelligence, and beauty. And when we surprise ourselves, we leave the whole world speechless. Junior year, we found our passion. I'm sure our athletes can relate to this sentiment more than anyone. You all have been pushing yourself to improve for years by that time, and you still had no intention of slowing down. You saw all of your peers reaching high levels of performance every day, and this motivated you to keep your head in the game. Although I'm class valedictorian, I'm 100% a product of the people who pushed me to work. I owe all of my achievements not only to my teachers, but to brilliant students like our Salutatorian Brendy Jerome, MBK fellow Jordan Jenkins, and scholar athletes like Mika Pierre, Daniel Kelke, and Sean Reynolds. I have this medal to show for my work, but I now devote it to all you athletes out there, and your coaches. And you know what, also the marching band, that's a sport, right? You all earned your stripes, so wear them proudly. Now we get to the tragedy of our senior year. The sad part of our senior year is that no one got to see how far we were willing to go to make our senior year one to remember. This became especially apparent when I reflected on a moment earlier this year, when I found myself at the school's alumni night. Sitting in the cafeteria, I felt awfully nostalgic, as I was surrounded by people who had been seniors when I was just a freshman. People who didn't know me at all, but I absolutely recognized them from Spirit Week, prom pictures, school musicals, and graduation speeches. As the memories came flooding in, I honestly felt like a freshman again, full circle. I realized that these people had left lasting impressions on us and on our school through their senior year, and their desire to have the time of their lives. But Valley, we have no prom photos. Our concert and musicals were canceled, and this graduation speech is the first to be given without you all as the live audience. Although it's nothing like we imagined, I believe there's something that makes our senior year just as impactful as those that came before us. I believe the secret lies in the relationships we chose to maintain and strengthen during the quarantine break. We're all going through tough times, but instead of pushing each other away, we continue to rely on each other for comfort. Be proud of the bonds you made at the school. You have friends that will go as far as to break their quarantine just to hang out with you. Now hold on, I'm not saying that's a good thing, but it's definitely a testament to how much we value each other's company. Thank you all for 4 years filled with memories and moments I will always be able to laugh and cry over. I'd like to thank all of our teachers and staff for learning how to use technology just for us to continue to learn and not allowing us to give up right when the finish line was in sight. Shout out to the Thespian Troop 721 and all the clubs that had to give up something that was important to them this year. I'd also like to shout out mock trial team. My real biggest regret is not getting to compete more with you all this year. And finally, I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Wortham and the Superintendent Circle for creating a stronger relationship between students and policymakers and translating countless of our ideas into meaningful change. It's been real, Spring Valley High School. My name is Rocco St. Clair. Thank you and congratulations.
In recognition of the records and achievements of the students of this class, and by virtue of the authority vested in me as principal of Spring Valley High School, I certify that these students have met the graduation requirements of the East Ramapo Central School District, and I take pleasure in recommending to you the graduating class of 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of presenting to you Mr. Harry Grossman, President of the Board of Education of the East Ramapo Central School District.
Every year I have the opportunity to attend the graduation and to partake in this august event. This year it's a little bit different than previous years. Actually, it's a lot different. And whoever could have conceived that we'd be standing here with masks on with a virtual graduation when school began back in September? Who ever could have thought that schools would close, that we'd have to resort to distance learning, that there'd be no regencies, which I'm sure nobody is sorry for, and I'm sure you probably wish it was like this in previous years. Nobody could have conceived that this was going to happen. But this is the reality that we have to deal with. And yet, when I look back over the previous year, what I see is that this graduating class was faced with challenges that no other graduating class ever had the opportunity or the challenge to have to meet, whether it be friends of the family members who might have passed away from this illness or got severely ill, or the challenges of distance learning. And yet, you persevered, you overcame, and you were able to reach this day today when you're graduating from the East Ramapo Central School District. Quite frankly, to me, this is nothing short of a miracle. For students to have persevered through these times, through the pandemic, through the challenges, learning long distance is not easy. It's not easy for the students, it's not easy for the teachers, it's not easy for the administration, it's not easy for the families. And yet you did it. And you're here today and you are graduating. This is such a testament to your character and your abilities. This will do nothing but help you in your future endeavors, whether it be going to college, or joining the military, or entering the workforce. Wherever you go, what you experienced this year made you all better people and better learners. I have no doubt that you will be a tremendous credit to the East Ramapo School District going forward, and I look forward to seeing how you continue to grow. Acknowledging the certification and recommendation by the principal and by the authority vested in me as the president of the Board of Education of the East Ramapo Central School District, I take pleasure in presenting to you the graduating class of 2020 for the conferring of diplomas. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of presenting to you Dr. Deborah L. Wortham, Superintendent of Schools for the East Ramapo Central School District.
Good afternoon. It is my honor to welcome the members of the Board of Education, teachers, parents, family members, and friends of the class of 2020 to Spring Valley High School's virtual graduation. Welcome to the very first pandemic promotion. As the first female African American superintendent for the East Ramapo Central School District, it is my moral and ethical mandate to set the atmosphere for rigorous academic engagement. I stand here today to tell you, Black Lives Matter. Our mission statement dictates that we are committed to educating the whole child by providing a healthy, safe, supported, engaged, and challenging learning environment. We are proud of the unparalleled diversity within our learning community. Our diversity is our strength. Our diversity is what sets us apart, but unites us. We are not afraid to be great. I am confident that we will rise up from this pandemic, navigating the waters of racial injustice, and continue to go all the way up and beyond. Class of 2020, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Every day, find out how great you can be. For Jigabee, the class of 2020 is great. Let's talk about the facts. To date, the total scholarship money for Spring Valley High School seniors is over $5 million. There are 305 candidates for graduation. 100% of the graduates have an acceptable grade point average. 100% of students have met all Regents examination requirements as applicable. 100% have applied to college. 228 plan to attend college in the fall of 2020. 85 colleges accepted Spring Valley students for the fall of 2020. Jordan Jenkins, Jordan will attend Cornell University. 89 students have received gray cords to identify students who are graduating with college credits. They're doing this through the college and the high school program. 5 students will be entering the military, and we pray a covering over their safety. Their points of interest. This class has scholarly athletes. The scholarly athlete, Daniel Kelkay. He's Rockland's athlete for the season in track and field. What about the arts? Quincy Gallion will attend the Brooklyn Conservatory. He will study music composition and follow his dream to score video games and other settings. Carrie Desrosiers, he was chosen to perform at Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Community, congratulations to my brother's keeper, class of 2020. It is noteworthy that these 6 seniors were mentees in the inaugural mentoring program as freshmen. The MBK graduates will be attending the following schools. Jordan Jenkins, 2019-2020 MBK Fellow. Jordan will attend Cornell University. Ansel Thekakara, Rockland Community College. Ralph Thomas, SUNY Cortland Community College. Emerson Thurnius, SUNY Delhi. Aaron Spann, Montclair State University. Wilgie Metalis, Rockland Community College. What are the senior highlights for the class of 2020? Well, Rocco St. Clair was accepted and will attend Carnegie Mellon in the fall. Brendy Jerome received a full scholarship to Northeastern University. 21 seniors were Hispanic Heritage Award recipients. 18 seniors were Black Achievement Award recipients. Rockland Athletes of the Season: Chris White, football; Grace O'Sullivan, volleyball; Emerson Thurnius, basketball; Malaya Pouchet, basketball; Daniel Kelkay, track; Grace Kwame, track. 14 seniors earned the seal of New York State Biliteracy for the second time in school and district history. Superintendent Student Circle: Rocco St. Clair, Brendy Jerome, Zulima Perez Soto, Gabriel Damis, Marco Flores, Jordan Jenkins, Jency Venant, Richard Vilcien. As the superintendent of the East Ramapo Central School District, I am pleased to celebrate the accomplishments of our students. According to our data, you are prepared for college and career. Whether you are going to college, the service, or a career, in all that you do, your thoughts determine your actions. Always remember, smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get. Think you can. Work hard. Get smart. Stay woke. Stay woke. And now, in recognition of the certification of these graduates, the recommendation by Principal Pinnell and the acknowledgement of the Board of Education, Mr. Harry Grossman, and by the authority vested in me by the State of New York as a commissioned officer, as the Superintendent of the East Ramapo Central School District, I take pleasure in certifying the graduating class of 2020 for the conferring of high school diplomas. Congratulations.
Jesse S. Abreu, James C. Adam, Nehemi Adolfi, Colby Adrian, Sinead T. Africot, Maria del Rosario Aguilar, Kaylee D. Agustin Sandoval, Ataibek Akishev, Cesar Alarcon, Lordine Alexis, Janae A. Allen, Jorvin S. Alvarado Galvez, Charlie A. Alvarez, Richard Y. Amaning, Randy A. Ambrosio Quintana, Kevin J. Amendano Sanchez, Edward S. Andrade, Adonis A. Apia, Ariagna Estefani Arias Nunez, Janice R. Arne, Israr Ashraf, Zain Ashraf, Ismail Auguste, Peter Augustin, Aaliyah Averett, Widmena Balan, Randy Barahona, Hansel Barrias, Julio C. Barrios Maldonado, Shirley A. Belfleur, Freddie A. Berrios Hernandez, Amelia A. Bland, Flor K. Boni, Emmanuel A. Boulin, Jerime Brims, Jose D. Broncano, Brian Y. Broncano Sandoval, George A. Brooks, Katie A. Kaba, Edwin F. Cabezas Castillo, Johnny H. Caguana Guaman, Lauren A. Calva, Jalen E. Calio Jones, Williamston Caprice, Brianne M. Casiano, Aguero Castaneda, Christian M. Castro Caguana, Cleaver M. Castro Lala, Clelly N. Catu, Johnny D. Cayancela, Carlos A. Sela Guaman, Dalson Celius, Jaquan J. Chambers, Malachi E. Charlemagne, Brenda G. Chavarria Arevalo, David A. Choice, Christian H. Chuya, Kayla C. Cordero, Jerica Dals, Anne G. Demis, Tayeb Z. Dar, Maria de los Angeles Flores, Arvin C. de Jesus, Kenderson Delis, Carrie C. Desrosiers, Ladina Desrosiers, Kelvin A. Diaz, Esteban Diaz Roque, Mario O. Dixon Jr., Gizcard S. Dorson, Tylin D. Dorenzo, Nathan Dorme, Edwina V. Duyan, Janika T. Drisdale, Joseph E. Duque, Daniel Estevez Garcia, Chanel C. Facey, Jonathan Fenelon, Christopher F. Fernandez Zique, Angel O. Flores, Marco L. Flores, Jalen Floyd, Kashima D. Francois, Macalina G. Francois, Kevin P. Gaber Lima, Quincy Gallion, Quinton Gallion, Kaylee P. Gomez Duarte, Mark Garces Gutierrez, Jorge L. Garcia Lino. Webavi A. Garib Nawajwala. Michelle S. Garza. Matthew I. Georges. Deseli Germain. Jorge A. Geronimo Climaco. Jocelyn J. Gill. Nick Z. Geralt. Aishan S. Glover. Jennifer I. Godinez. Leslie J. Gomez Giwichuska. Jennifer E. Gomez Ramos. Dennis Gonzalez Blandon. Ashley M. Gonzalez Hernandez. Christopher A. Gonzalez Hernandez. Jenny P. Gonzalez Rivera. Justin C. Goodridge. Rosa M. Gualpa. Sandra Gualpa. Uwinga K. Gue. Cristoval Guerra. Hector M. Guerra Duarte. Cesar M. I. Gutierrez. Adriana T. Hayes. Rameli L. Henry. Jonathan F. Hernandez. Jefferson A. Hernandez Alarcon. Sherlene A. Hernandez Reyes. Shataya Hill. Anisha J. Holland. Rashid K. Hobson. Daisy C. Humala. Fabian A. Humala Acero. Ronali A. Hippolyte. Ben Edward Israel. Loundy P. John. Jennifer D. John Baptiste. Sammy Jean Baptiste. Rafaela Jean Marie. Eveline Jean Pierre. Elizabeth Jean Pierre. Joe Adam Jean Pierre. Victoria N. Gianti. Jordan A. Jenkins. Brendy Jerome. Edison J. June. Emanuela E. June. Vivian S. Jimenez Medina. Jacques O. Joannis. Kachif Johnson. Nathan A. Johnson, Shamar Johnson, Desmond J. Jones, Jays Jules, Yakov Kaminsky, Daniel A. Kelke, Abdul H. Khalid, Wajahat I. Kawaja, Grace S. Kwame, Kessie M. LeBranch, Vanessa Lapointe, Carla Laurent, Luvinsky Latour, Byron X. Leva Fuentes, Gisela C. Lema, Joe A. Lema Gualpa, Michelle Lima Huerta, Kaylin B. Lima Liguicota, Josue D. Limas Hernandez, Yuri N. Lemos Lemos, Neka Lezen, Catherine R. Lima Vallejo, Junior H. Loha Loha, Ashley Lopez Cartagena, Wootsie Louis May, Sinja Louis Saint, Fatima Mahir, Danielle K. Manas, Giovanni I. Marquez Portillo, Chanel K. Marsley, Amy R. Martinez Flores, Iris Martinez Quintana, Olivia D. Matherin, Junior A. Medina Montoya, Saida C. Medina Sandoval, Rudy A. Mejia, Luis F. Mejia Fuentes, Alba L. Mejia Guaman, Abel Mendez Toribio, Selena Y. Mendez Toribio, Richie D. Mercure, Will G. Metellus, Daphne Midween, Michelle E. Misquero Orellana, Jasmine G. Miskiri, Christian G. Miskiri Tubatan, Fania A. Molina Montar, Selena Monfiston, Jordan R. Montez, Araceli C. Morocho Calle, Maria V. Morocho Fajardo, Daniel O. Nahera Aquino, Joel D. Naranjo Bonet, Chrisley D. Narcisse, Jaden Narcisse, Anaya O. Newland, Angie N. Nieto Amado, Alexander Nivello, Juan G. Nivello Guasco, Gladys C. Oliva Guevara, Andy O. Orantes Lima, Fernando J. Orellana Barrera, Sofia Marie S. Orisca, Grace B. O'Sullivan, Jose C. Pacheco Murcia, Jennifer D. Pague Arevalo, Rosa A. Pague Guaman, Jacqueline A. Palma Garcia, Rocio Paredes, Brian A. Patino, Jessica E. Patino, Maria J. Patino Camas, Sender D. Paul, Victor S. Penafiel Cobos, Libertad A. Perez Galvez, Alfredo Perez Jerónimo, Zulema B. Perez Soto, Marissa R. Perry, Lorvenda Filius, Lady F. Pichisaka Loja, Manuel A. Pichisaka Loja, Dondi C. Pierre, Mika Pierre, Jadira C. Pinos, Mark R. Pinos, Kimberly D. Pinos Bermeo, Alex G. Pintado Cabrera, Williams R. Pinto Vazquez, Kevin M. Pizaloja, Jessler F. Polanco, Lucero R. Polanco, Kenny Portillo Lopez, Isabel Princeville, Malaya E. Pushea, Franklin M. Quispe Guaman, Jessica Quispe-Lema, Jack D. Ramirez Garay, Gandalf A. Ramirez Ramos, Jonathan A. Ramos Mejia, Ardani M. Recinos, Kevin G. Recinos Medrano, Jordan Reynoso Ventimilla, Sean T. Reynolds, Noé de Jesus Reynoso Guzman, Stephen Ismael Rivera, Ahab Rizvi, Matthew R. Roche, Vianis J. Romero Valladares, Daryl K. Rose, Yehuda Roth, Gustavo A. Rubayos, Yaniria V. Ruiz Carrasco, Lisbeth N. Saguay Guaman, Kimberly St. Herme, Juan C. Salazar Tamé, Yemi L. Salazar Torres, Kimberly M. Sandoval, Nelson A. Sandoval, Kimberly Sandoval Flores, Jennifer Sandoval Oviedo, Rafael Sanin, Alexander S. Sarmiento Avila, Jason S. Sarmiento Avila, Christian Sijuenza, Emanuela Simoni, Angelica N. Soto Martinez, Aaron E. Span, Rocco H. St. Clair, Vladimir Sterlin Joseph, Davidson F. Stenfill, Vanessa St. Louis, Dylan S. Sweeney, Cassandra Jane S. Tagana, Marco A. Tejeda Herrera, Eric S. Tenesaka Guapiasaca, Jorge P. Tenezaca Lema, Clara A. Theogene, Anzil Thekekara, De Jefferson Tharas, Jean R. Taras, Mondi Tharas, Emerson Thurnius, James A. Thiessen, Ralph Thomas, Caleb Tupuisan, Isha S. Uden, Christopher R. Ulysses, Christelle Velbrun, Jasmine V. Valdez Crisostomo, Cheryl Valdez Perdomo, Jonathan P. Vazquez Guadalupe, Brendan Vazquez, Jency Vanan, Irvin S. Vicente, Vien D. Vides, Richard C. Vilcian, Jorge M. Villagomez Gonzalez, Christopher W. White, Tristan C. White, Aliana Wilfong, Jalen B. Williams, Andy R. Yakekal, Lisbeth A. Yupa Mejia, Daniel G. Zanango Calle, Danny S. Zuniga.
Graduates, please rise. I invite you now to take part in the time-honored tradition of moving the tassel from the right side to the left side of your mortarboard. With this action, you join the family of proud Spring Valley High School alumni. Congratulations.